Hello everyone, we are the Backyardigans, and today we're going to be talking about our capstone project, the layout generator. But first, to meet the team, we're comprised of 5 members, including Anna Michaelich, Grant Ward, Joey Misson, Jordan Fowler, and myself, Tyler Beadle. Before we dive into the specifics of the problem and the solution we came up, let's give a little bit of background about the client. So Dr. Benjamin Davis is our client, and he is the CEO of Asset, which is a small tech startup founded in Columbia, South Carolina in 2009. They are specifically focused on innovative vibration technology in the healthcare industry. Now, a little bit more specific, they're focused on fall detection in nursing homes. And what that means is being able to detect when a nursing home resident falls, where they fall, when they fell, what time, all of those kind of details so that they can get the care they need immediately, opposed to it being delayed or in some unfortunate cases delayed. With this fall detection, they need to fully understand the structures of the client sites they are working with. And when I say structures, that means the buildings, because all buildings are different and not completely comprised the same way. So they go about layout generation. And this current process takes about 20 days. And when I say a layout is formatting exactly what a room looks like, including the furniture and different fixtures such as the lights, the cameras, the sensors, etc. So a little bit more into layout generation. The current process takes 20 days, like I said. And this currently starts with the physical measurement. So they're in the client sites with measuring tapes. They then convert their physical measurements to an Excel file, and these Excel files are then used by a researcher to manually scrape and put inputs into LaTeX, which is a TypeScript software that allows you to create PDF documents. And then this is then reviewed by a PhD student that goes about seeing what is configured incorrectly and what needs to be updated. And our proposed process at the beginning of the semester was using a software solution for this to decrease the amount of time it takes for a researcher to complete this process. So it would still start with the physical measurement, then the conversion to the Excel file, but we would propose a web app conversion where the user could just input an Excel file, a CSV file, or a JSON file, click a button, it would convert it for them into LaTeX.
Hi, my name is Jordan Fowler, and I'm going to be going over the technologies that we used. First, the team and I used Django, which is a Python web framework, and this ultimately just gave us the structure to design and build our web application. We used pipenv as our package manager and virtual environment, which was really seamless to use and just allowed for the team to stay in sync with all the packages necessary. We used Lua LaTeX to aid in the conversion from our Excel, JSON, and CSV files to those PDF files, all within the browser. We use SQLite as our database engine, which just helped us keep track of the account credentials, generate layouts, and the individual style settings. We use HTML, CSS, Bootstrap to do a lot of the front-end styling and development. This definitely helped make our web application look a whole lot better and was pretty easy to use as well. And then lastly, we use Railway for our deployment. And this was by far the most difficult technology that we had to use. There was just a really big learning curve. We tried to initially use something called Nixpacks to help with the file production environment, but ultimately that didn't really work with LaTeX, so we had to switch over to Docker and Docker images, which ended up working for us. Now passing it off for the demo.
Hello, my name is Joey Misson, and I will be going over the import page and login screens for our web app. So let's say that our character from before, Robert Johnson, is ready to use our web app. The first thing he needs to do is create an account. So to do this, he clicks on create an account and begins to enter his credentials. So as you can see, he types in rjohnson, robjohnsonemail2@gmail.com, and as you can see here, he's going to enter a password and then a confirmed password that's not identical to the regular password. And as you can see, when he clicks register, it lets him know that the passwords do not match, and that means that he has to re-enter his information with a correct password and confirmed password this time. So upon clicking register and following the correct steps to create an account, it takes him back to the login screen, and he successfully registered an account, types in his username and password, and then clicks login, and as you can see, he was able to log in with his credentials. upon clicking the log out button, then he's allowed to click on the login screen again if he wants to log in. But let's say that he forgot his password. So he clicks the forgot password button, and then in the email address, you can see that he types in his email and then clicks submit, and then the web app tells him that he should have received an email regarding a password reset. So he does receive the email, he clicks the link to reset his password, and then he's taken to a new screen to reset his password. Here, it's the same as before, same standards for password generation, and also the passwords must be identical. And it lets him know that a password was reset correctly, so now he can go and log in with that new password. And here it takes him to the import file screen, and on this screen we can see that there's an upload button, a convert button, and 3 different sample files that he can download. So these different sample files are ones that you could upload to the import file screen, and you can later see them in your layout library after importing. So here we have, this is what an example CSV format looks like. You can see there's lots of different values. There's different furniture, so tables, walls, sensors, cameras, pretty much anything you can imagine for a layout. So as you can see, those were the example CSV and Excel files, and then that right there was the example JSON file format. So here we're just going to upload a CSV format just to see what the layout looks like. So this is what an example layout will look like, and you can view it in a browser. So then you can go back to your import screen. Let's say that Robert wants to upload his own files. So he goes and makes his own file called Maplewood Kitchen, and these are the values in Maplewood Kitchen. He goes to upload, and as you can see, clicks convert. That file gets created, and a new LaTeX file is created and generated a new PNG that you could view on the site. So then he goes and he has to upload a new one. So Villa Entryway is this new one with new values and coordinates for things. Clicks convert, and as you can see, it generates a new LaTeX file, and it generates a whole new layout as well. So let's say he has another file. This one's called Garden. So he just has a bunch of layouts, and he just needs to upload them and edit them for whatever he's working on. So here's uploading Garden. And as you can see, this also uploaded correctly. So then, let's say that he is uploading something and there's an error. So for example, let's change this value here to, instead of the number 288, to the string 288. And this should be a numeric value, so in the string version it shouldn't upload correctly, and it should tell us that there's an error. So upon uploading this and converting, we can see it says invalid input types for y-axis min-max values, please enter real numbers. So now you know that there is something wrong with what you typed in, and you know exactly where to check. You check under y-axis, under the min-max, and you can see that if you change this string 288 to an actual numeric value 288, and then we save it and upload it again, you'll be able to see that this time it actually converted correctly, and there is a layout generated. So now that's pretty much all the import. I will have Grant go over the subsequent screens, and then Anna will go over the following screens after that.
Thanks, Joey. So I'm Grant, and I'm going to be explaining the export layout page and the layout library. So say after Robert imports an Excel file, a JSON file, or CSV file, it'll go to this export layout page, and Robert has the choice to download it as a PDF, a text, or both. So if he downloads it as a PDF, you can see it opens up with a PDF file of the layout. Next, if he wants to download it as a text, you can see that the text file, the LaTeX file, pops up, and you can edit that. Or if he wants to download it as both, you can download the zip file, and it'll have both the PDF and the text file within it. Robert can also change the name of the file. As you can see here, say Robert changes it to Excel file and clicks save, it'll update the name of the file. And now if he wants to re-download it as a PDF, he can click it, and you can see that the Excel file name is now file.pdf instead of the old name. Robert also can delete it. So if he goes back to the layout library, clicks Excel file, and he clicks delete, it takes him back to the layout library, and as you can see, there's no more Excel file layout, which means it has been deleted. Now to explain the layout library page a little bit, say that Robert wants to filter it. He can filter it alphabetically, last modified, or you can search name. So say he wants to filter alphabetically, you can see filters it by garden, Maplewood Kitchen, or in Villa Entry. And if he wants to change it by last modified, you can see at the bottom it has the last modified times. Also, if he wants to search it up by name, such as this, he wants to search up Villa, he searches up Villa, clicks search, and Villa is the only thing that pops up. Now, Anna will explain more of the style settings page.
Thanks, Grant. Now, my name's Anna, and I'm going to demonstrate some of the enhanced customization that our app permits. So far we've seen how some of Robert's core needs have been met, and now we can see how we can further customize his room layouts in just a few clicks. So if Robert clicks on a specific layout and he goes to the Edit Style page, we can see that there's a ton of functionality for enhanced customization of layouts. On this page, he can change the colors and the widths of walls, doors, windows, furniture, and other objects, as well as customizing the orientation of his downloadable PDF file, or even changing the location of labels for the key objects that include sensors, cameras, and calibration points. With this personalization, Robert can clearly delineate different features of layouts, and this can allow him to emphasize certain features or communicate ideas or design ideas more effectively. And he can do all of this with just a few clicks of a button without having to actually go back into the LaTeX code, change the file, or regenerate the PDF. Now, sometimes Robert might consecutively want to upload several different room layouts from one client site, and maybe he wants to maintain his design consistency within each of the generated layouts. Luckily, within the Settings tab, this is exactly what the default style settings page is for. Within this page, he can set some of the custom object colors, wall boundary colors, and thicknesses, and then if he saves and applies these changes, we can see by uploading one of our sample Excel files that all of these changes will be reflected in future uploaded files. Now, if Robert ever changes his mind and he wants to go back to the system black and white default, he can do that by clicking on the Reset to System Defaults button within the default style settings page. Or if Robert ever wants to change his account email or password, he can do that in settings under the Account Settings tab. Finally, if he decides that he wants to completely start over, or if he needs to follow some kind of compliance procedures and delete all of the layouts, he can do that by clicking the Clear Layout Library button. Now, in conclusion, our app empowers users just like Robert to automate key processes and potentially further expand the scale of their startup's operations. Thank you so much for taking the time to walk through our LaTeX file generator app and learning how it can help accelerate development of next generation safety products.